to ESPN Bet Winners and the show. We are unsportsmanlike here on ESPN Radio. ESPN2, we are presented by Progressive Insurance. The highlights of last night's Thursday night football game, courtesy of Seattle Sports 710 AM, where the Seahawks beat the Cardinals, and we won our ESPN Bet Unsportsmanlike parlay. No big deal. We'll get to that in a second. You could be a part of Unsportsmanlike Nation on the Dr. Pepper call online at 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. ESPN Nation is presented by Dr. Pepper. It's not college football season without the delicious taste of an ice cold Dr. Pepper. College football, it's a pepper thing. I am abnormally happy about us winning our parlay last night.
Me too.
Kyler Murray, 30-plus yards. Marvin Harrison Jr., 4 or more catches.
That was the one I was puckered on. With the way that game started, I was nervous.
I was too.
I was nervous.
Well,
I didn't know if Marv was going to get there, Smalls.
The group chat was going.
Yeah.
On Marvin Harrison Jr. Let's just say that. We were worried about our guy, but he came through.
I don't know if we got credit for the catches he created for the Seahawks, but it didn't matter. And, of course, Sam Darnold with the 200-plus yards. If you bet with us on ESPN Bet yesterday, using the Unsportsmanlike parlay, you won. Opening up the account this morning, seeing more money in my ESPN Bet account was wonderful. She is Michelle Smallman. He is Chris Canty. I am Evan Cohen. The Seattle Seahawks beat the Arizona Cardinals 23-20 last night. Good morning, everybody. How we doing?
Doing pretty good, man. I'm excited that we actually won our parlay. We made the people out there some money. Smalls, you went on ESPN Bet yesterday. It was the most bet parlay on Thursday Night Football.
That's
correct?
right. It was the very first one, prominently featured, and the most bet parlay out there.
So now there's pressure to follow this up.
That's right.
I mean, Thursday night, if we have the parlay that gets people a little bit of coin going into their weekend, man, that's pretty awesome, but we got to keep it going.
Next Thursday, the Niners
San
and the
Francisco,
Rams,
LA,
right?
Yeah. Tough one.
That's not it. You know what? I was literally thinking about sending one in today, and I'm like, wait, I got to wait on this because now we don't know who's going to be quarterback at San Francisco, so we got to wait on that. But, yeah, we're on a little bit of a can we say we're on a streak if we won one? Probably not.
Yeah, let's claim it. We're
on a streak.
How about this? We got the momentum.
It was 3 bets in one.
That's
so
true.
let's claim it.
That's true. Good way of looking at it.
There we go, 3-1.
Yeah.
But you're right. It was amazing to wake up this morning and check my ESPN Bet account and be like, okay, weekend money, let's go.
Well, you bet a lot more than I do then if this is good enough for weekend money. Okay, lunch. For me, I bet I'm not a big bettor in terms of number of dollars, but I bet my frequency is more than the number of money I put in there.
So I bet $20. My
That's more than I
payout
did.
was $80.56. Let's
Wait,
go.
really?
$80.56 is
Great
the payout.
job. Oh, so you do have weekend money. Good job
That's
by
what
you. I bet
told
10.
Yeah.
No, good job us.
Yes.
Sportsmanlike parlay.
All right, let's get into this game last night. So the Seahawks win it. They go 3-1 on the season, 3-1 in the season, and Arizona is 2-2. So what you need to know late, down 20-13 were the Arizona Cardinals. They lead a 12-play, 57-yard drive, 2 minutes and 48 seconds to tie the game. They did go for it. They go for the extra point at 20-19. We can get into that in a second. Also, I obviously was wrong on this. I thought at 4th and 4 from their own 49-yard line with 3:01 to go and 2 timeouts and a 2-minute warning. I actually thought they should have punted. They went for it there and converted. They have the game-tying drive. And then after that, Chad Ryland, the kicker for the Cardinals, totally botched it, kicked in that landing zone or before the landing zone. They get the ball at the 40. Sam Darnold, I guess, does what Sam Darnold does now and leads a game-winning drive thanks to a pass to Jackson Smith-Njigba. And Seattle goes on and wins it 23-20. Immediate reaction, CC, from this game last night was what?
I hate this landing zone rule. I hate it. I can understand if you kick the ball out of bounds and you put it on the 40-yard line. I even understand if you kick the ball in the end zone and they penalize you and they move it up. But to kick the ball in the field of play, but somehow it's not in the field of play, just don't make no sense to me.
I got to be honest. I don't think I understand it in full.
I hate it.
I'm so confused with it.
I absolutely hate it. You know why? Because it decided the game last night.
No doubt.
This wasn't a health and safety issue. It wasn't a matter of not putting the ball in play. Technically, the ball is in play. It's in the field. You kicked it between the chalk, the 52 yards between the white lines. The ball should be in play. Yet somehow it's not. I hate that rule. But I digress. Last night's game, to me, was a microcosm of Kyler Murray's career. You have a lot of bad, and then you get those glimpses of good that keep you holding on and thinking that there could be more. And the issue that the Arizona Cardinals are running into is it's far too inconsistent enough for the organization to have sustained success. One playoff appearance in 7 years ain't going to get it done. Not for a quarterback that's making what Kyler Murray is making, right? This dude, after this year, has 3 years, $124 million left on his contract. Oof. I tell you what, he might not be that great on the field, but his agent is great at the bank. This dude is not giving the organization the return on investment. What we saw through the first 3 quarters, the Arizona Cardinals offense, 44 plays, 138 yards, no touchdowns. Kyler Murray had an 8 QBR, 2 interceptions. The fourth quarter was a different story. He had 2 drives, 20 total plays, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an 85 QBR. So essentially, the entire output for the first 3 quarters was matched and surpassed in the fourth quarter when you think about the points involved as well. I just think for Kyler Murray, he's got to find a way to be more of a playmaker throughout the entirety of the game, week to week, as opposed to doing what we saw last night.
Could not agree more. That was one of my 2 takeaways from the game. First and foremost, I echo your sentiments that the Arizona Cardinal offense just looks completely disjointed. You know, for the majority of the game, they're making mistakes. Kyler Murray does not look like a number 1 overall pick. Marvin Harrison Jr. certainly doesn't look like a first-round pick at times. But then he turns it on in the fourth quarter, and it's those little flashes that we've seen from him in his career where you're like, oh, yeah, that's why people were enamored with him when he was in the draft. But you're right, it has not been nearly consistent enough. Now, on the other side of the field, Sam Darnold. So far this season, with the Seattle Seahawks sitting there at 3-1, and Sam Darnold having the performance that he had last night, showing that poise, that composure, putting his team in the position to win, it's looking like last year with the Minnesota Vikings might not have been an anomaly, because that was the big question we had about Sam Darnold. Was last year where he helped the Minnesota Vikings win 14 games, was that the outlier in his career, or can the Seattle Seahawks expect more of that? That was his 7th game-winning drive in the fourth quarter or overtime since the start of last season. The 7th. That's tied for the most in the NFL alongside Patrick Mahomes. Sam Darnold has what it takes to get the job done in the most pressurized of moments.
Very fair. In theory, I don't trust him still if I'm going to be in week 17 and week 18 and in the playoffs because of what I've seen. Here's what Sam Darnold now does, to his credit. Sam Darnold has become the quarterback that absolutely raises your floor. He doesn't necessarily raise your ceiling. And that's okay. Like, that's a good thing. Like, he is, you're not going to be bad if he's your quarterback. You're not necessarily going to be a Super Bowl winner. But I want to go to the other side of it. I want to go back to Kyler. So I've never been a Kyler guy. And I'm going to be honest, it's initially because of the height. I don't believe in the short quarterback like that. It's something that I'm not as...
Do you like Russ?
Russ is much bigger than him. Russ is not big, but he's much, to put it in perspective, he's much bigger than Kyler. I've stood next to Russ. Russ is bigger than me, and I'm 6'1". Like, he's obviously in much better physical condition. But Kyler, this is my issue with Kyler, and it's really with all of us. Do you believe, Michelle Smallman, you are fairly critical of Trevor Lawrence?
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe, Chris Canty, you are fairly critical of Caleb Williams?
Yes.
Do you believe the media in general and fans in general are fairly critical of Bryce Young?
Yes.
The roller coaster started back.
Yes.
Definitely.
This guy is not better definitively than those guys.
No.
And we never talk about him. Do you believe that we have been fairly critical on the field? Let's leave the off-field stuff for this side right now, of Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
Deshaun Watson's career is a million times better in terms of on-field than Kyler Murray, and he played the exact same amount of years, 7 years, and the last 3 years obviously were disaster. This guy has never been great. 7 years in the league, as Cece mentioned, the team record is 38-47-1 in games that he has started, okay? His career high for passing touchdowns in one season, you know what it is? 26.
20. Yeah.
26. He has 31 rushing touchdowns in his career. That's awesome, right? Do you know 11 of them came in 1 year? So 20 in the other 6 seasons, which includes this season, so we're not done with that. He's played 1 playoff game. No touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Why are we not as critical of this player as we are those that would be deemed his peers, number 1 overall picks at the same position, that have not necessarily lived up to the hype? In Caleb and Bryce's case, shorter amount of time, and in Trevor's case, I believe, a shorter amount of time. This young man is good. But that's as much as you can go with him. And I can't even envision a scenario where you say, oh, could you see this guy playing in a Super Bowl? Could you see this guy leading a team to a Super Bowl? I couldn't envision a scenario where he leads a team to an NFC championship game. Forget a Super Bowl. He's what he is. His dream scenario, in my opinion, CC, is to be the guy he played last night.
Yeah, but that fourth quarter for Kyler Murray is what keeps people holding on. It's like going to a golf course and butchering the course, but you hit that one shot that gives you that tuning fork feeling.
Oh, yeah.
And you think you're on to something and you want to come back for more. That's what the Arizona Cardinals front office feels like when it comes to the Kyler Murray of it all. And I'm with you, man. I just don't think it's good enough. He's the common denominator around a lot of bad for the better part of the last decade. And here's the other part that's a little bit jarring to me. Short week at home against a division opponent after you just lost to a division opponent. That is as close to a gotta-have-it situation as you can get in the NFL this early in the season. And you lose for an 8th straight time to the Seattle Seahawks? It ain't like Seattle's been some juggernaut over the past half decade. They missed the playoffs 3 of the last 4 years. Mm-hmm. Sam Darnold just got to that division. And you lose to them at home? You've got to find a way to be better. You've got to find a way to be on the same page earlier in the game with Marvin Harrison Jr. I know it ain't all on Kyler Murray. Right. And Marv had that drop that led to a pick. That's on the player. But you got to love him up. You got to find a way where y'all can have a better connection. You've got to play make at a higher level when you get paid what he gets paid. And the fact that he's not, at this point in his career, it starts to create some serious questions for the Arizona organization to answer. We keep holding on to this potential of Kyler Murray because from a physical standpoint, he's uber talented. Mm-hmm. But if we keep talking about talent, that means we can't talk about winning. And like I said, at this point in his career, that's problematic.
Clearly not good.